Greetings, brethren, Cloaking Donkey here. Not with video games today, but with my face. This is in fact what I look like, and well, I didn't quite look like this when I was doing video game content, because I was actually a lot fatter. But I've lost quite a bit of weight, and I'm still losing weight, and soon I shall have a normal weight. Huzzah! So, why are you seeing me? I am not going to be doing more video gaming content, so sorry to disappoint, but I can't really do video games anymore. However, I have finally managed to get off my ass and do a new YouTube channel, which is something I've planned for years. And I had all sorts of different ideas that I wanted to do. Some actually had to do with video gaming. Specifically, I wanted to do a cooking channel that would recreate various dishes from various MMOs and other video games. But honestly, with all of these ideas that I had, the biggest problem was always editing. I just hate editing. I don't mind turning on the camera and talking for 10-15 minutes. I don't mind, doing stuff and, recording videos every day, but I do really hate lengthy editing, and I didn't want to get into that again. So I kept thinking, what am I going to do? And for a while I did sort of a video log of my hobby, which is painting tiny miniatures with paints, and all sorts of wargaming related stuff. And I did that without any editing, and it worked fine. And then at some point I got the idea, hey, why don't I do beer reviews? Because I really like drinking beers, and I've wanted to do something on YouTube again for a long time. So, my new channel viewership, which is still very small, this is particularly a video for my old channel audience, which hopefully is interested in this kind of content and might migrate to the new channel. So, let me start off like I usually start off my beer episodes. We are going to drink today Hobgoblin Ruby, which is a beer from the Wychwood brewery in England. And this brewery is something that I've kind of adored for a while, and now I don't, because they used to have these really, really cool bottles with really cool logos that were just they were just very old school in a way, and they had really cool fantasy images, and all their beers had really interesting fantasy names. Like there was a Imperial Red was kind of a barbarian, and it had the beer to slay a mighty thirst is what it said on the bottle. And I thought those beers were really, really fun. But now they went the way of all the other beers, and they have these stupid, just low budget, dumbass. I hate these. They all do them with the recycle paper, and it's kind of rough paper. It's not shiny, and ugh, I hate it. So not as much of a fan of this company anymore. And I don't think I've ever had this one, or maybe I did, because it seems like all of their beers are now called Hobgoblin, and before they had interesting different names like a Goliath and Gladiator and stuff like that. So we'll try it out and see what this is like. So let's have a pour of this particular ale. It's an ale, of course, so there's not nearly as much fizz as you would expect with something like a lager, but that's all right. I'm not going to get too much of a head, but a little bit. Very fine bubbles as well, which is nice. And it's a really dark, nicely red kind of color. So yeah, to my old channel audience of the Cloaking Donkey variety, man, there's so much to catch you up on. I've not done anything in years, so yeah. So I started a business. I now do a business related to wargaming and miniature painting, and I do hobby supplies. And just generally art-related things, because, I don't know, that's what I'm good at. And I kind of just started this new channel, this beer channel, for fun. Because I just needed a new creative outlet. Because with doing most of my painting now for work, and my hobby related stuff for work, I just kind of needed something new. So there's beer, because I drink a lot of it anyway, and I thought, yeah, why not drink it on camera, show people, and make funny jokes, because I used to do that, right? So yeah. So let's have a sip of this. You know, I actually think that is what used to be the Goliath one that I actually liked. It has that same sort of smoky taste to it. So I'm double disappointed by this. Now the great thing about these beers, and that is something I will laud them on, is that they don't put garbage in it, which is something that English and American folks love to do. Is they love to put corn syrup and sugar and other crap in their beers, but this is actually just water, malt, hops, and yeast, which is great. So it probably wouldn't pass German purity commandment standards simply by virtue of not following a specific, way of sort of brewing the beer. But in terms of ingredients, it certainly passes it. So yeah, that's all great, right? It's good. I'm not going to complain about that. It's not bad. It's like there's a lot of acidity to it though. So I assume if I drank a lot of it really quickly, it would get kind of acrid and annoying in the back. It is somewhat bitter, more bitter than I would expect from a British ale. British ales are often very, very sweet and very sort of rounded, and they go more toward sweet and savory than they go toward bitter or sour. This is a little bit more bitter and sour than I would expect, but it's still very nice. I wouldn't really call it an ale though. If I compare this to other ruby ales, it's kind of too different, but it's fine because it does say ruby beer and not ruby ale, so still not entirely bad. All right, so that's the standard beer portion out of the way. Let's talk video games. I have kind of burnt out on video games entirely, which is why you won't see me do any more video gaming content ever. The problem with video gaming content is that not only do you have to like playing video games, you also have to like talking about it, and you have to like spending a whole lot of time editing videos and writing scripts and all of this stuff. And I definitely don't have that much passion for it anymore. There are times when I crave video games, and then I'll play a little bit. Just today, for example, I think I played 2 or 3 hours of Banished, because suddenly I was overtaken with the need to play a city building game, I suppose. But that's kind of become very rare. Every now and then it'll also sort of grab me and I'll play an RPG again. I played classic World of Warcraft for a while, but I never reached max level. I'm just kind of over it in general. I just don't have it in me anymore to really invest dozens of hours into becoming, really good at a game or just getting through it. It's become a super casual thing for me, and that's just not good enough for making videos. Now, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, shall we? So, I would like to apologize to everyone who I made buy Camelot Unchained. Obviously and clearly, this game is not going to come out anytime soon. It's, at this point, still years away from release. Will it ever come out? Maybe? Will it be good? Probably not. Will it even be in a finished state? Perhaps. It's a bit of a shit show. And a lot of those MMOs that were supposed to be the sort of new generation, the new hope, they've all kind of stagnated. There's not really much happening in that scene. And I have to be honest, I'm really, really, really pissed off with all of those people. Because I carried the banner for Camelot Unchained ever since it really started becoming a real thing. I spent so much time talking about it. I spent so much time editing videos about nothing, right? Like they'd release a snippet of information and I'd make a video about it. I'd spend 12 hours making a video just so I could, bring more people to that game. And I really regret that because honestly, I don't think that game is ever going to live up to the hype that they created. I just don't think so. And I will fully disclose at this point that I have requested a refund. I did so in March of last year, and that being 2020, still have not seen any money from them. You can, of course, say, oh, the pandemic. But, at this point, it's been 1.5 years. And I still have not seen any money from them. That's really pitiful. And, because at any point, how much in the building do you have to be to talk to PayPal to make sure I get my money? How necessary is that really? I think that's kind of just an excuse to not give me my money back. But, there you go. I definitely need to apologize for that. And here's what pisses me off the most. The one game of this sort of Kickstarter MMO generation that is closest to release is the one I talk the most shit about. And that's Ashes of Creation. Now, do I have a different opinion about the person or the people making the game? No. No, I still think they are probably pretty shady. And I still don't really trust them. And I still wouldn't give them any money. And I still kind of think the stuff that they did is really shady. And it still borders on, pyramid schemes and stuff like that. But they have stuff to show for it. They have an actual game. And you could say, well, the Camelot Unchained guys made that weird friggin' Ragnarok game or whatever it's called, the horde shooter, or I don't even know what that is. I never tried it. I don't really care. But yeah, the Ashes of Creation guys are actually, it looks like they are a year or a year and a half away from launch. And Camelot Unchained and Pantheon and all these other games, they had a 3 to 4 year head start on Ashes of Creation. And Ashes of Creation looks to be the one closest to an actual release, to something you can play, to an MMO you can play, not just some stupid shooter or whatever. So yeah, that really pisses me off. So, in that regard, I would like to render an apology to all the Ashes of Creation fans and the Ashes of Creation team. You guys actually managed to create a game, it looks like, and you are certainly closer to a real thing than Camelot Unchained and Pantheon and all these other games. So, good on that. But, as I said, I still don't trust the developers. I still don't trust the guy running it. The stuff they say and the stuff they do, it still feels really shady to me. So that hasn't changed, and I don't think that will change. But, well, Camelot Unchained doesn't seem much better. So, yeah. Well, I think I'm going to do another video like this at some point where I talk about all the sort of video gaming stuff that happened in the interim since I stopped making videos on the Cloaking Donkey channel, and I'll upload that on the Cloaking Donkey channel then as well. I might even do some promotional stuff to try and entice some of you to come to my beer channel, because I actually put out daily content there. So if you enjoy me talking about stuff, why not listen to me talk about beer? Because beer is fun and it's tasty. And I have so much to say about it, and I make jokes sometimes. I'll put some clips of jokes I've made already on at the end of the video, so you can have a look and see if maybe this channel is something for you or not. But yeah, other than that, I would really like you to come over and have a look at my beer stuff, because it's something that I'm actually kind of proud of and kind of interested in. The name is going to change, because in the interim I have realized, well, I kind of just started the channel on a whim, because I thought I really wanted to do it, and a beer a day is what came to mind at the time, right? That's the first thing that sort of popped in my head, and I thought, hey, that's a pretty cool channel name, that's a pretty cool idea, and it describes what I do, and it's a good name. But turns out there's like a whole bunch of channels that are already called that, with different names and stuff, but they all do the kind of similar thing. So I'm just gonna change the name, probably. This might already have a changed name, I'm not sure, but at some point in the very, very near future, I'm gonna change the name of the channel. But the format is gonna stay the same. I'm just gonna drink a different beer every day, talk about it for like 10 minutes, and make some jokes, and hopefully entertain you. And if you like that, then you should subscribe. And all the links that you need will be in the description, so you can head over to my beer channel and listen to me again, if you want to. If not, that's fine too. I get it. I mean, I've been gone from YouTube for almost 4 years now, in terms of my gaming stuff, so maybe you're no longer interested in the stupid donkey, but if you're still interested in what I have to say, or still like hearing me talk and jabber and joke and do stupid shit, and, you know, are not put off by this horrific German visage, then, you know, that's great. Come over and we'll have some beers and we'll have a chat, and we'll have a good time, I think. So yeah, I hope you have a lovely day. Oh, I should also, of course, the most important part of my beer review channel is to review beers. So what am I going to give this? It's all right. It's not something that I would get all the time. It's drinkable, but it's not good for chugging, I don't think, because the acidity will get too much after a few sips. I wouldn't really call it a drinking beer either, because you'll get sick of this really quickly. So this is something that you'll have every now and then if you enjoy the taste. I'm going to give this a 5.5 out of 10. I don't think it quite deserves a 6. It's alright, but it's not that amazing. And maybe in other cases I would be more lenient, but since they changed their branding to be really fucking boring, I don't feel particularly charitable in this instance. So, 5.5 for Hobgoblin Ruby. And I hope to see you guys on my beer channel, because I really enjoy doing that at the moment. It's super fun, and it's something to do while all this COVID stuff goes on. Oh, and I should probably repeat that for all you guys, since this might be the first time you see this. On this new channel, there will be no talks of politics, there will be no talks of religion or current events or anything like that. We'll talk about fun things, and we'll have fun, and we'll enjoy ourselves. There will be no nonsense, because you can get that in plenty of other places. Don't need that from me. I'm just the funny donkey beer man. That's my persona, and I'll stick to it. Cheers, have a lovely evening, and join me on another day for another beer. Take care.